more for me. It's more so I know that we're starting.
So you get to do the clap.
Oh, every time. There, it's easier to sync up when you're doing this.
Yeah. Adam!
Leslie!
Cheers.
And cheers to you people.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing?
Tea with the lads. Have you got your tea? I mean, we can always wait. We can wait until the kettle boils. You know, it only takes, 2 minutes for that to happen and 3 minutes for you to brew your tea. But, I mean, we'll wait for you. We are glad you're here. We're glad that you're back with us.
Absolutely.
Here, the weather gets more interesting each time I come up here, Adam.
Well, it's not as though I live in the hinterlands compared to you. We're about 3 miles distant, but yeah.
It's not Adam's fault that the weather is what it is. But this week, what we have is freezing rain. So we had a whole pile of snow at the end of last week, and now we've got freezing rain. So now we have it's basically just like a skating rink.
As the guy who's in charge of removing snow from like 4 houses in my neighborhood, I'm happy with this development. I consider this an improvement over last week and the impending snowmageddon that didn't really materialize for where we are, but that's okay.
Didn't for you, but I tell you what, we got a lot of snow down in St. Louis Park. So
we call it the South here in Robbinsville.
Up in the north. What have you guys been all up to? We haven't really been up to much.
Well, your thumb is healing.
A quick thumb update is we got it all cleaned up, and actually it's healing way better than I ever thought.
Who knew?
American medicine, huh?
On the heels of last week's. Ah! That's perfect. Yeah. It's annoying and it'll cost a fortune, but we'll sort you out.
Yeah. So it's going really well. So I'm really glad.
Good. We need to talk about one other little teasy bit.
Oh, next week.
Yeah. Next week is big.
Tell them about next week.
Well, next week we're gonna start talking about the biggest holiday on the Irish calendar, St. Patrick's Day, which is coming up in a few weeks' time as we record this. But we've got some fun little song stuff for you and some St. Patrick's Day stories and all sorts of all sorts of revelry and merriment.
Because my version of St. Patrick's Day was different than yours.
Probably quite a bit.
And so that's going to be interesting. So we'll talk all about that next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'll help you plan your week and get the kettle.
Right.
And this time maybe get the kettle boiled before we're on.
Right. Good idea. Have to prepare for these things, for these early Friday mornings.
when you're up, getting the notification for Tea with the Lads.
Speaking of notifications, as we're now official YouTubers, we should say, don't forget to ring that bell and click like or whatever it is that every YouTube video tells you to do so that you get our videos when they come out, and it really helps us a lot. I don't know.
Here's the thing, actually, for real, for genuine, it's free to you to basically subscribe and to be notified, and it helps us just grow. If you like what we do, not only does it encourage us, but it actually helps YouTube see that we're doing something real.
Yeah.
And comments, we always love the comments. It's good to have a conversation there on Friday or when I see them.
Shout out to Nate Rauschendorfer and John Stewart.
John Stewart.
Thanks, lads. Keep it up. We love talking to you, so we appreciate your engagement. Yeah.
We are going to play you. Last week we played you some Christy Moore.
We did. Yeah.
And now we're going to visit his brother.
Right. I sang the last one. You're going to sing this one, so it's as though we have our own Moore family personalities that we take on.
Barry Moore got his name changed, and he goes by the name of Luka Bloom.
You may have heard of him, and if not, it's true.
And he is. I love his writing.
Really good.
And I got a phone call one time to go and open for this guy at the Limelight in Belfast, and he was called Luka Bloom, and I knew nothing about him. And one of my friends who played, Davey McMahon, who plays in a band called Four Idle Hands, he said, "Oh, it's Luka Bloom's always great. You'll love him, and it's solo acoustic." And I was solo acoustic, so I went.
You guys could have been duo acoustic.
And it was 1991, so I'd been writing songs and performing them live for about 2 years. I thought I was cool. I thought I was really cool.
And then you saw Luka Bloom.
My songs were great. And then in the sound check, my whole life.
Oh, for real? Oh, no.
During Luka Bloom's sound check, my whole life just went down the drain.
Sad face.
Just, oh my gosh, just the tone he was getting from his guitar. For you guitar players, Luka Bloom basically showed me a tuning called Dadgad, D-A-D-G-A-D on the strings, that I had never experienced before. And it's a typically Celtic sort of tuning.
Well, it is, and it sort of mimics the open drone of an uilleann pipe, if you will, I guess, which is a traditional elbow pipe in traditional Irish music. And the first real users of Dadgad were Irish traditional players, including local hero Dahi Sproul. He was one of
our local guys
of Dadgad tuning, which is amazing. And, in standard tuning, a guitar is E, A, D, G, B, E. So in Dadgad, you're lowering 3 of the strings pitches.
So they sort of drone.
Yeah, you've always got that kind of drony sound. Give them a demonstration. That low D is always resonating.
So it just blew me away because the tone of his guitar was outrageous. It just filled the entire room. About 600 people fit in the Limelight. And every time I'd ever played there, it was just, people were just having a good time. They weren't really listening to what anyone was doing on stage, including me, which played there a lot. But when Luka Bloom went on, you could hear a pin drop. And so I went home, I bought the album. The album was Riverside that he was touring at that time. And I started to figure out what is it he was doing. What was he doing with his tuning? What was he doing with the chords? And we're going to play you Gone to Pablo, which was the first song that I was able to work out.
Figure out. I mean, think about it. It's you know, as a guitar player, especially when we grew up, we didn't have the ability to really readily figure things out unless it was by ear. There's no internet. There's no massive community of people saying, "Oh, you play it this way." There's no YouTube videos showing you how to finger stuff. You really had to figure it out on your own, and you didn't even have an easy way to loop a section or slow it down to learn it. You really had to hone your ear to get that stuff. So that's hard enough if you know how the guitar is tuned to begin with. And as a young kid, you think this is how you tune the guitar, and so you're trying to figure this out, and it's not working, and you're like, "What is going on here?" Right? So you're missing the key to that cryptogram that's happening. To figure that out. To figure out Dadgad tuning and then to figure it out from there is a real, you know, kind of watershed moment in a guitar player's life. Good for you for doing that.
And well, I scrapped everything I'd written right up to that point.
That was it. We went back to the drawing board.
Just gone. Yeah. And I use a lot of open tunings, and don't always know what they are.
Sure.
Right? Because it just sounds nice. And I just play some chord shapes until it sounds like something that could be cool.
You can't describe what you're playing in musical terms. It's just pleasing.
And then I eventually learn, oh, that's that chord, or that's this chord. And then that helps me.
sus4 with a C
that helps me sort of wrangle it into a song and can try other songs in that same tuning. So that's essentially what happened. It was years of not knowing what half of these chords were, just playing them knowing that they fitted.
When you say open chord, you mean, or open position rather, you mean the guitar is tuned essentially to a chord.
Yeah.
Dadgad, it's sort of a modal tuning, so it's a little different. Open tunings are either tuned to typically a G chord, which would otherwise, you know, look and sound like this, or a D chord, or maybe an E chord, just whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But those open tunings are really, it opens up a whole new world for guitar.
Let's play a.
Let's say goodbye to Pablo.
Let's say goodbye.
We're going to Pablo.
He came to her room Wednesday morning, found a pistol lying by her side. For 13 years she kept the fires burning, lost in pictures, no place left to Jacqueline's gone to Pablo. Jacqueline's gone to Pablo. Too long, the night became her lover. She knew that he'd been waiting all this time, with dreams and magic pictures to uncover. Now that all that earthly silence is behind, Jacqueline's gone to Pablo. Jacqueline's gone to Pablo. Jacqueline's gone to Pablo. Jacqueline's gone to Pablo. People go to galleries in Europe to wonder and to feel Picasso's soul. Jacqueline's gone to Pablo. Jacqueline's gone to Pablo. Jacqueline's gone to Pablo. lovely stuff.
Great song, Les. Great song.
I wouldn't be mad at that if that was one of mine.
No, I would be quite satisfied. I love that haunting, kind of airy, ethereal stuff. Good job.
Cheers, Luka Bloom. Cheers, Adam.
Cheers to you, Leslie.
Cheers to you guys. Thanks for being here. It's fun for us to just be here and have a bit of crack and play some music.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you next time. Get ready for St. Patrick's Day and have a great one until then, okay?